using it, we are well prepared actually. For example, we don't know about the pandemic. The pandemic about COVID is all over, gone already, but we know about the future. Maybe we will face another problem. For example, in Malaysia last time before pandemic, there was a problem whereby there is the chemical, the chemical, leak of the chemical nearby the school. The student cannot go to the school. But at that time, ministry asking the teacher to go online. But of course, at that time we are the teacher are not really favor on online learning. Students also don't have any gadget, so it won't happen. But then, after continue, if we still continue using the online learning and face-to-face approach in the new normal, I think whenever we have the problem, flood, disaster, we continue our lesson because of everybody know about it. I have been using it and I'm quite familiar with it. Okay, and then also we are mentioned about the meaningful experience, and by using the technology, of course, we can create the meaningful experience, and then compare with those who are studying before the internet era. For example, me, I'm doing first degree. We have library. We have to search the book, and then you are using the catalog. Catalog where you have to search by call number, by title, and it takes time. But nowadays, you're using the internet system. You just key in the word, and then you find where the book is. The problem with the traditional way that I'm used to it, we go to the rack, and then there's no book. And then we have to go back to the drawer, and then try to search another index number so that we can find the book. Okay. Give a practical, meaningful learning by giving the practical knowledge, and then evaluate timely and frequently. Okay, and then welcome their feedbacks. And this is what we can do using the technology. With the advancement in technology, we can create our AI onto it. Even the Telegram. Those who are familiar with Telegram, worse. Okay, but we have to do another. And then personal structure and all new norms. We have to think about a custom of learning for each student influence, and try to custom differently. I think my research, I've done research on implementation of schools in Malaysia. Homeschooling, but I'm trying to implement virtual school, and Biruti said that they agree to virtual school, but in certain condition, whereby maybe for the student who drop out, cannot come to school, or maybe have left school for quite years, and they would like to continue. Where they're going to learn, they can learn online, using the virtual school, virtual platform. And then especially for those like our students, sometimes they're quite active in sport, whereby they can go for 1 week or 2 weeks. So the virtual learning can replace, not replace teachers, but then they can learn by using the virtual learning. And then the teaching, the learning process is still happen. And then the stakeholders. Next. Okay, this is my last slide actually. Okay, actually this is the beside the teachers and the leaders, the ministry, government should think of to facilitate the school in enough technology, and also come up with policy to encourage the integration. Okay, Malaysian previously we have no policy for under Ministry of Education. For your information, in Malaysia we have two ministry, Higher Education and Ministry of Education, where Ministry of Higher Education handle the universities and colleges, where the Ministry of Education handle school. So they come up with the policy, and Ministry of Education will come up with the policy, so make sure that everybody is following the policy, so it will be the school responsibility, teacher responsibility, headmaster responsibility, and principal responsibility to make sure that the school will be occupied with technology and they will use technology as part of their teaching and learning process. And for the parent, of course, we need to educate parent to continue assist the student in their children in teaching and learning. And I take example, last time we are having the conference, they mentioned about the GLC. GLC have played the important role. They are sponsor everything. For example, the school need the facility, need the computer, they will sponsor it. So government company will support, will give the sponsor whether on a computer or also try to donate on infrastructures and also the technology for school improvement. Thank you for the start actually. Last slide, thank you. And then okay, we will maybe if you have any question, and then okay, because I will be here and I'll be join you to the
until Sunday.
Until Sunday, yeah. I'll be staying here until Sunday. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's very interesting about the blended learning, and every factors have to support. Yeah, not just teacher, but also parents and the government system. We move on to another interesting topic from Professor Froilan D. Mobo, DPA, PhD from Philippines Merchant Academy. We will disciplinary research culture. Is it Professor Mobo in the Zoom already, or? Okay, hello, Professor Mobo. Hello. Good morning. Dr. Froilan D. Mobo, DPA, PhD, are you hear my voice clearly?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
This is Dr. Froilan D. Mobo from the Philippine Merchant Academy, the Assistant Director for the Department of Research and Development and Extension. At the same time, also the Editor-in-Chief of the International Journal of Multidisciplinary Applied Business and Education. So my task for today is to deliver about the multidisciplinary research culture amidst the pandemic. So during the pandemic crisis, a lot of educators and scholars felt devastated because they thought that they could not continue with their academic and scholarly work because of the abrupt pandemic crisis. The good thing about the research publication and submission continues to grow, eventually because it led to researchers and scholars writing on topics related to COVID-19. That's why it was a breakthrough for other scholars and researchers globally. Then a lot of researchers and scholars opened its door to the research and development during the pandemic and also up to now. So it's just a pandemic we're facing right now, and we need to think up or innovate. A group of researchers like the ICSED Institute of Economic Development and Social Research and other international research institutions, of course, facilitates its call for papers globally by using an alternative mode of presentation, just like what we are doing right now using Zoom, Google Meet, and other platforms that can facilitate the continuous presentation and other research scholarly work. So also journal publications waive the article processing charges just to give to those scholars or writers who are greatly affected by this devastated situation. So the adoption of this new research culture through the use of technology-based platform such as ResearchGate, Google Scholar, and Mendeley encourages scholars and writers to persevere in their efforts to produce a good quality publication that is globally readable and can be cited as many times as the researchers have read it, just like what I'm doing since the pandemic started. I published already 71 papers up to present, and it has gained 42 citations in ResearchGate and 34 citations in Google Scholar in a matter of 2 years. So, which means that is a good numbers or figures or statistics in the research culture amidst the pandemic. Are also being offered free. That's why, as a researcher by heart, I will continue to promote and introduce new research methods in the field of academics, research and development, such as quantitative, and mixed method research. This is to design locally or globally, which is needed uh, time of pandemic. It's a big opportunity in research and development, of course, not only in this time of pandemic. So to stay at home and do collaborative research that can be cited and publishable in reputable journal, which is indexed in direct open access journals, which is the DuWatch, the Scopus, and the Web of Science, and other high impact factor indexing databases, which is part of the peer-reviewed reputable journal. So the pandemic has not only affected the publication, but the readership trend as well. In a multidisciplinary journal, we can see a steady increase in COVID-19 related articles compared to other diseases. So trending from between 2020 up to present, a lot of publications related to COVID-19 was published. For example, it was also indexed in Thomson Reuters, Scopus, and also in the Web of indexing database. So which means that is a good figure that most of the researchers have done throughout the whole pandemic period. And of course, a study also found that the publications examining the relationship between the COVID-19 and also the education, which is focused on online education and teacher education, while countries that contributed the most in the publications on this issue were, of course, the USA, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Spain, which really grows many statistics as far as that. So another study showed that they had focused largely on remote distance learning, but had also covered a wider spectrum of issues in relation to teaching and learning, which give emphasis to that of technologies for teaching and learning assessment, and of course, their capacity as a teacher, and this is to institutionalize the preparedness in this time of pandemic in regarding research and development and also with publication. And of course, the study findings and propositions suggest that COVID-19, of course, will be the catalyst for several long and short-term policy changes, which give the necessitating the theoretical and empirical attention of all researchers across the globe. So the offered proposition will act as a roadmap for potential research opportunities, not just only during the pandemic, but as long as we have the research and development process and we can continuously grow with it. So the most publications which are been read in most countries or which was published is mostly in America and China. And the most used keywords are COVID-19, online education, and distance education. Then the most cited authors are the following. Of course, we have Chen, Kong, Peng, and Yang. They are the most popular, most cited authors during, of course, the start of the pandemic and up to the present. And finally, we observe that the highly more being sustainable enough. So the total number of papers that were captured by the search criteria, for example, in Google Scholar, ResearchGate, was around 10,685. They were included on the website, for example, in the Google Scholar and ResearchGate. So the greatest increase in the types of studies over the 16 weeks and up to present, just like what we are doing in the publication is, for example, a narrative review, an expert opinion papers, followed by a case scenarios and report, which is relevant to the COVID-19 pandemic. So the list published types of studies were meta-analysis, systematic reviews, and randomized control trials. So during the first year of the pandemic, we have the figure statistics around 44,609 users, and then 7,164 publications and 4,702 preprint applications were published in this time. Started between 2020 March, whereas preprint and publication activity really readily increased. So on the horizon, of course, libraries and other virtual libraries have been the gateways to relevant informations and knowledge for conducting research and publications, and of course, the development on related subject areas during the pandemic. So the library information services started to gain importance by providing researchers the opportunity to explore, of course, in the medical and scientific research while preventing or battling this disease. So as you read the figures on the screen, these are the figures showing between the first week of January and up to present. This is the statistics ranking. So we have rank 1 is the United States, which has around 26,716 publications. It is really favorable for all the researchers and authors and scholars to publish their papers, of course, in reputable peer-reviewed journal. That's why COVID-19 research article, the sharing of this topic is seen as the poster child for open science. And the pandemic held up as the turning point for open science to be known globally. Yet the report finds that this has only partly been realized because it makes a series of key recommendations, 3 of which focus on opening up data, encouraging preprint, and strengthening collaboration across the scholarly communications ecosystem, which is, it gives emphasis that the industry of research and publications and even the preprint has really grown. It didn't stop. The same here seen on the screen, these are the file server for the research papers, which can be uploaded. So of course, we have the research publication process in a journal, in the SAGE journal. So which means that the activity of the scholars and researchers is continuously grow. So they did not stop, because part of that, they can explore many things as part of the solution for this global crisis that we are facing. It was in the online repository, which is very SSRN, the scientists, all papers can be uploaded as part of the preprint and can later or can be accessed by users or
Hello,
authors that
doctor.
can they supporting documentation or justification for their research, for their study. So we have the preprint, we have the statistics as you see on the screen. It figure out that these are the most widely accepted, published on preprint or in the journal databases. So the increase of citation continues to grow. Just like what I mentioned to you, that my paper has already gained 42 citations in ResearchGate and 34 citations in Google Scholar. So that is almost for a matter of 2 years. So which means that that is really a good sign. So in my ResearchGate, as you see on the screen, it has already 42 citations and it has already a 3 high impact factor. Okay, so I have this Google Scholar profile. You can see on the screen that I have many also citations, around 34. And that would be all for today. So thank you for inviting me for for the first Pedagogika International Conference, which focuses on the trends of research and development in different sectoral areas. So that would be all. So this is again Dr. Froilan Timobo from the Republic of the Philippines saying always stay safe and God bless everyone. Thank you and good day.
Good day. Thank you very much, Dr. Mobo. Okay. Topics just now. We have to think integrate with the multidisciplinary to develop the knowledge and technology, and we have to build the culture inside us as the researcher. And then last but not least, we still have here from, actually he is from Universitas Negeri Gorontalo from Educational Management Department, but now he have to work abroad in Timor Leste. Please, Profesor Dr. Phil Ikhvan Haris MSc, are you here? Do you hear my voice clearly? Are you ready to present your speak? Prof. If panitia mungkin bisa menghubungi Prof. Ivan. Karena kebetulan memang ada acara juga di Timur Leste dan beliau sebagai ketua panitia. Mungkin ya. Sudah di Zoom? Panitia? Lagi ada acara. Boleh diganti another speaker? Langsung Q&A? Oke. Okay, let's start to another session. There is Q&A. Apa ada atau sesuatu yang mau disampaikan untuk discussion? Dipersilakan Bapak Ibu. Ada mic di bawah. Ada mic di bawah.
Yes, thank you very much, moderator. Langsung saja ya. Okay, yeah, I will start from Dr. Megan. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm thinking Australia a bit cold over there. Is that right?
Starting to warm up. We've come into
Okay.
our spring
Oh, lovely.
after a very cold winter. So we've come into
Oh,
a very cold, wet winter, and now we're coming into our spring.
Oh, well. Anyway, from there.
Southeast Queensland in Brisbane.
Okay, you
Yes, I've been in Brisbane 3 years. So before I came to Brisbane,
Oh,
I
wow.
spent over 20 years in northwest Queensland in a Mount Isa, Indigenous
Isa.
communities.
Yeah.
When you look at the map of Queensland,
Yes,
you've got the
yeah.
Big Dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working around the area of that Big Dip
Oh,
in those
wow.
remote communities.
All right. Yeah, I got lots of experience around there. Many years, a bit not Queensland, but a little bit far away from you in Brisbane. I was in Townsville. It's a lovely city.
Oh,
over
yes.
there. Yes, very good.
Yes.
I think you know much.
Yeah, so
about it.
opposite side of Queensland.
Yeah.
So towards the west coast, towards
Yeah,
the
West
Northern
Coast.
Territory border.
Yeah.
Close to the Northern Territory border
Yeah,
as
it
well,
is.
that's where
Yes.
I worked.
Well, Dr. Megan, thank you very much for participation in this international conference. My name's Hasbi. Yeah, I'm one of teaching staff at Mulawarman University. It's a little bit far from here in East Borneo, Samarinda. Probably you recognize that name, Samarinda, Balikpapan. Yeah, lots of Australian companies over there. Well, my question, I will. It's quite interesting. Yeah, and then one of your article somewhere is about the what do you call it? Kamera di sana. Hang on, I will check your research. Teachers, there, right? You mentioned one of slides.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, one of slides your presentation. Yeah. Could you tell me, because you didn't, sorry to say, you didn't mention a little bit about the effect of pandemic COVID-19, that research, but you mentioned about the trauma, specific the remote area teachers. Is that right? Yeah. Tell me how to indicate that, for example, one of a child.
Yes, but been impacted, yes,
Yeah.
by complex trauma. Just to clarify, so are you COVID and the impact of COVID on our students as well?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes,
And,
yeah, and yes, we have noticed.
yes. Anyway, another questions related to the complex. Even one trauma can be damaging of a child, but we can imagine if a complex. Could you tell me, well, again, what is the indicators of if a child hit or got the complex of trauma? And then do you think the complex of trauma can be effect long-term affecting? Yeah.
Yes, so the behaviours that we see with our children impacted by complex trauma include externalizing behaviours, so they're acting out, so they could be violent, they could be swearing, they could be on top of buildings, they could be hurting themselves, hurting others, but we can see those behaviours. We also of our children who are impacted by trauma who internalise. They keep everything inside, and you may not know through their behaviours that anything is okay, that anything's wrong, that they're impacted by trauma, but their body, their nervous system, but they're wearing like this mask. So you can't, because they're wanting not to let anyone know what's going on. So they could be like the children that we might miss because they're so well behaved, they're so polite, and they may display, you know, that perfect, wanting to be perfect. So there's a wide variety of personality, their own temperament, and what support is available. With both that we see in our children can be, and we have them through unconditional positive regard, through building the capacity of our staff, but also providing them with those intensive supports based on what they need. And we do collaboratively.
Yes.
Does that answer
Yes,
your
it
question?
makes sense. More left, do you think that trauma can be brought to a child till adult, can be affecting?
Yes. Yes, it can be, yes, it can go from all throughout.
Yeah.
It can actually, if we don't support and provide healing and support our young people from early on, it has been shown it can lead to long-term health outcomes, negative health outcomes, if we don't provide that support. So like heart disease, continued mental health issues as they get older. And then the other thing can be, if we don't help children heal, they can pass it on to their own children. If we don't provide that ongoing support, and how I think the key is the adults in the children's lives. How do we respond when a child might be acting out or internalising? How can we show that we're there for them no matter what?
Yes, again, nice to talk to you. Thank you very much, Dr. Megan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Ibu Moderator, can I ask for Professor Richard?
Sure,
Yes.
please.
Assalamualaikum,
The time is
Professor.
yours.
Yeah, it's again quite interesting. I saw one of your bad experience and good experience. Yeah. Anyway, while you're talking, I'm doing lecturing from here. Yeah, I will say this is a good experience for me, probably, and I'm not sure for students or participants over there, but probably they feel experience. But one of my questions, because you mentioned about the readiness Okay. Uh, how do you, I mean, how to define, yeah, the parents' readiness, okay? And do you think, because you are in Malaysia and we are in East Borneo, I just want to make like a comparing the readiness of parents and the readiness of parents in over there or remote area in Borneo. Yeah, I think that's all, Professor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, how to look at the actually based on the pandemic those days, the readiness of actually we have no instrument to whether to evaluate parent readiness, but majority of us we take a social media as as part of our sources to find out what are parents talking about in the pandemic situation, how they face the problem with their student. I think actually there's research done by me actually, but I don't know, maybe other researchers have done it. But based on the social media, we explore what people thinking of, what people have suggestion, what are the majority of them actually. This is something that last time, previously, parents not even bother about their kids' academic performance. But then in the pandemic, then they know what's their kids' problem. So they are keep posting on the web. They say find out, suddenly they know that their children are not actually don't know about certain topic, not familiar about the basic things that they should learn in school. So based on this information, we can come up with at least what parents. I think what teacher can do is maybe try to try to ask for parent participation in school. For example, come to school and then discuss about their performance, and then maybe I think nowadays when teachers told that parents that tell their parents that okay, your children have the problem with certain topics, I think now the parents will agree with it. Previously, they don't agree with it because they say, okay, no, my student is okay. But okay, I think look at the parents' perception readiness. Okay, thank you. Okay, besides that, I actually, I would like to congratulate actually UNG because of your 59th anniversary, right? Yeah. Actually, tomorrow, Malaysia, we are 59, celebrating our 59 Malaysia Day. On 31st August, we have National Day, but tomorrow will be the Malaysia Day and our 59th Malaysia Day. So, same with the NG.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we have, I have some conclusion about our speakers today, that pandemic have a big impact to our education, and it's not just about the academic, but it's also about the psychological factors that support the education. And you know, in every country have different area, not only you know, even Australia also have the remote area like Indonesia or Malaysia, something like that. So together we have to, today in this conference, we have some notes to recommend it to our ministry, our government, or we can recommend it about how to optimally develop the optimal, especially for new normal era, because last 2 years we really have the very, very tough years about education, about learning loss or something like that. So together we have to do something to make our future better, and also, together with technology, humans side by side can develop the. Okay, maybe Pak Ketua, can I, or maybe another question from another participant? Is there any question? Because the time for lunch. It's lunch time. It's enough for this session, but there's still another session after lunch and after pray in one with another three speakers, I think, or three speakers, yeah, from Sulawesi and from Kenya. Okay, thank you very much for all participants, for the speakers, Dr. Megan Brown, Dr. Mobo, and Dr. Mahizer. Thank you very much for coming in Gorontalo. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for your assistance, Dr. Pupung.
Baik, berikutnya kita beranjak menuju sesi penyerahan cenderamata kepada UPSI Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris Malaysia, kepada Profesor Mahizer bin Hamzah dari Fakultas Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Negeri Gorontalo yang akan diserahkan langsung oleh Dekan Fakultas Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Negeri Gorontalo, Bapak Arwil Dayat. Kepada tim seksi dokumentasi agar dapat mengambil momen dan mengabadikan sesi ini. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue to the second session, we have a very special performance for you.
Please welcome a solo singing performance by Pusat Fakdawer. She will sing a song of Josh Groban, You Raise Me Up.
my soul so weary. When troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and waiting in the silence until you come and see the wild with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountain. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Ya, terima kasih untuk Suset dan Bapak Ibu sekalian. Ternyata di acara conference kita, International Conference Educational Innovation dan Kongres ini bertepatan juga dengan ulang tahun dari Bapak Dekan Fakultas Pendidikan Universitas Negeri Gorontalo. Ternyata panitia sudah menyiapkan surprise ya.
Sedikit kejutan untuk
Pak
Bapak Arwil Dayanto.
Silakan. Boleh dikasih musik ulang tahun mungkin. Hari ini hari yang kau tunggu, bertambah 1 tahun usiamu, bahagialah kamu. Bukan jam dan cincin, bukan seikat bunga atau puisi, juga kalung hati.
lagi selamat ulang tahun kepada Dekan Fakultas Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Negeri Gorontalo. Semoga di usianya yang semakin mantap ini juga mampu memimpin fakultas lebih maju ke depan. Selamat ulang tahun Pak Arwil. Baik, kita ke sesi berikutnya yaitu santap siang. Kami memberitahukan kepada Bapak Ibu yang menggunakan ID card berwarna hijau untuk di bagian restoran dan yang menggunakan yang menggunakan ID card hijau menjemput konsumsinya di bagian registrasi yang ada di bagian depan dan yang menggunakan ID card putih dapat langsung ke restoran.
Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, sampai bertemu lagi pada pukul 14.00 waktu Indonesia Tengah. Terima kasih.